はい、皆様時間となりました。それでは、特別講演第2番目の、グローバルバグズアジアさんの発表に移りたいと思います。グローバルバグズアジアさんは、今ご参加いただいてますかね。ステファン、やりますか？はいはい。ハロー。じゃあ始めましょうか。それでは、グローバルバグズアジアさんのプレゼンテーションをよろしくお願いします。どうぞ始めてください。
You are
Okay,
Yes, okay, please. Okay, thank you.
we thought you're going to show the recorded presentation, but hold on a second, and we'll open it here.
ありがとうございます。そうですね、最初に、動画を流していただければいいかと思います。動画を、お願いします。
okay. They're gonna start a video.
Okay, please start
Well-
your movie first. Okay. はい、お願いします。
Like with spell like video.
Okay, just a second then.
Hi, my name is Kanitsanan. I am a co-founder of Global Bugs Asia, and I am a CEO of the company.
And my name is Stefan. I'm also one of the co-founders and head of business development for the company. Let us share the screen.
In 2016, the company was started. In the same year, we got approval by Board of Investment of Thailand. In 2018, our R&D farm is ready. And in the same year, we export to EU and Japan. In 2019, we start with the introduction of our products in Thailand. In 2020, we start to launch our Prudy protein bar through Internin coffee shop, 600 coffee shops in Thailand. In the same year, we export Prudy protein bar to Japan. And a year after, we start now to produce and develop new product to serve the Asian market. Next year in 2022, we plan to construct the first large-scale, low-cost entofarm in Thailand.
When it comes to governance, we have to fulfill several risk management systems for food safety and security. We're doing that because we want to minimize the risk of contamination of pesticides in our crickets. In order to do that, we have to use certified cricket feed only, also using food grade material only in production and process areas. And we must have highest water treatment solution in order to avoid phenolphonal, which is a very commonly used pesticide in Thailand. This means that we have to control the whole supply chain from feed to packing through farming and processing of our crickets. We can never buy locally produced crickets and process them in our farm. We have to farm our own crickets and process them to end products. For food security and safety in order to export our products, we fulfill the risk management solutions and systems in order to eliminate sources of contamination to reach the farm and process area. When it comes to export to European Union, we presently have to handle each member state in the Union one by one. But from next year, when new and harmonized regulations are in place, we hope that we can be able to export our products into the European Union. By doing that, we have set our level of internal quality to follow the new novel food regulations set by the European Food Safety Authority, EFSA, that will come in place next year. In the production, we have to minimize the risk for diseases in the colony, which the major risk is to bring in any contamination from outside the farm into the process area, which means that we have to train our staff, they have to follow specific risk management documentations. We have to make sure that we are not using any raw vegetables or fruits which can be contaminated by phenolphthalein. We must make sure that we have certified cricket feed to minimize this risk for contamination. In order to keep the high quality of taste and smell of the products, we always use the same kind of cricket feed. And we are using the same cricket feed no matter if the end product is for food, for human consumption, or if it's animal feed for pet food. To minimize the total loss of the colony, we use always certified feed, water, and food grade equipment.
When it comes to market, before COVID, we saw the increased demand for cricket powder in EU and Asia. During COVID time, we were forced to go into the hibernation stage. And this year, we recognize that the post-COVID products seem to increase in demand in all markets. Our products are Ento powder, which is pure cricket powder, Ento crisp, which is whole roasted cricket in 5 flavors, Fruity, which is the fruity snacks bar, Fruity Plus is the high protein bar, and Integral, which is natural cricket fertilizers. Our Ento powder can be used in many different implications to boost the nutrition contents, for example, noodle, pasta, dumpling skins, or the plant-based ingredients which we put in the Ento powder to boost the protein and B12. Right now, we are working with the core project with the fitness segment where we are going to release more smoothie and protein bars to serve that market. Global Bugs Asia is a Thai company with a team of Thai and Swedish entrepreneurs. We bring Swedish innovation to Thai farming skill and create opportunities. We are supported by Board of Investment of Thailand, and we have received a seal of excellence from European Commission.
Thank you very much for listening. Any questions, you're welcome to ask us.
ありがとうございました。
Thank you.
ありがとうございました。はい。で、それでは、じゃあもう一度プレゼンテーションをこれから始めていただこうと思います。よろしくお願いします。グローバルバグズアジア。Okay.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi there. Thank you very much from Thailand here. And if any of you have any questions, please ask us and we will do our best to answer them.
はい、そうしましたら Q&A の方に移っていきますか。はい。はい、じゃあフロアの方からどなたか質問ございましたらよろしくお願いいたします。で、タイでは、どれぐらいの、方が昆虫を食べられてますか？私たち日本人でもある限られた地域で、昆虫を食べるっていう習慣があるんですが、タイではもう全タイ国で食べているようなイメージがあるんですが、いかがでしょうか
？Yes, it is. In Thailand, we already consume crickets and other kind of insects for 100 years back. and there is a record that we always use it in the our cultural food. And from now on, we gotta do more creativity to create a more high protein content food.
ありがとうございます。たくさん昆虫を食べてると思うんですが、一番おいしい昆虫はやはりコオロギですか？
Yes, we believe that cricket is the best in flavor and the texture of the product, because in other kind of insects, the shell of the insect is the limitation to create a bakery product or any other kind of products. So we have tested many other kinds of product, but we ended up to use cricket in the human grade ingredients.
And crickets, they also
ありがとうございます。
crickets also contain a lot
風味
of vitamin B12.
いろんなコオロギがいるとは思うんですが、例えば繁殖をする時のコオロギと実際に、生産をして、販売する時の成長させる時のコオロギとはあると思うんですが、餌は同じ餌を使ってますか？餌によって風味が変わるっていうことはありませんか？
Yes, we have, during the first year that we did the research and development, we find out that the cricket, we taste actually what they eat. But if you give them more vegetable, they will taste differently than the other animal protein. And in the cricket feed, we always avoid using any kind of animal protein. We use more of the plant-based feed to give a better taste and not to harm the environment.
例えばいろんなコオロギのフレーバーがあると思うんですが、エビとかカニのフレーバーを目指しますか？それとも、コオロギ独自のフレーバーを強くしたいと思ってますか？いかがでしょうか？
Okay, we always use the same kind of cricket feed, so the taste and flavor is always correct. And when it comes to end products like our protein bars, we add such amount of cricket powder, so you will not actually taste the crickets. You taste what the cricket bar is actually made of, for chocolate and banana flavor or strawberry flavor. So that's how we deal with our products.
ありがとうございます。クリケットバーはすごく、オンライン、アマゾンとかオンラインでよく見かけます。で、やっぱパウダーとかバーっていうのがいろんな製品のラインナップがあると思うんですけども、それぞれのリピーター率っていうのの違いはありますでしょうか？例えば大豆入りのバーと、ホエイプロテイン入りのバーに比べると、昆虫入りの、バーっていうのはどれぐらいよく売れているのか、もしご存知でしたら、その、リピーターの数っていうのがかなり増えているかどうかっていうのを教えていただきたいんですが、可能でしょうか？よろしくお願いします。
Okay, when it comes to the bar, most of the bar in Thailand, they are imported bar, and the price is very, very high. And you never know where is the source of the protein that is putting in the bar. Most of them are processed protein isolate in many kinds. In our bar, we use the cricket protein to replace other source of protein, because it's very easy digestible. We have done the pilot test in Hua Hin, in the province that our factory is. We put them into the fitness center, we put them into school, we put them into many different kinds of shops. And people who do the training and the fitness, they claim that when they consume lots of whey protein, they become that seems to increase in weight. But when they consume cricket protein bar, they feel that it's very easy, digestible. So they feel very, very practical to use this kind of protein.
ありがとうございます。やっぱりそういうマーケットをうま
Thank
く
you.
見つけて、マーケットをうまく見つけておられるっていうことが、すごく重要だと思うんですが、価格はどうでしょうか。やはり、いいマーケットを見つければ高く売れると思いますか。
For the price right now, because our mission is try to find the low cost alternative protein, and that's why we try to make the price affordable for a bigger market. We are not yet going into any niche market, but the next protein bar, which is more protein content, we're gonna be more go into the niche market. But right now, anyone in Thailand can afford one protein bar for less than $1 per bar.
We can also say, in order to reduce the production price in the future, we have to scale up the production to large scale, low cost production, and thus minimize the production costs. For a small farm like the R&D farm that we have, the cost is too high. But that farm has been only for research and development, and from next year we're going to build the first big farm producing 40 tons of cricket powder per year.
ありがとうございます。多くの、おそらく海外の企業の方がタイを目指す理由っていうのは多分人件費が安いであったりエネルギーが、豊富にあると資源が多いっていうことがメリットだと思うんですが、例えばその人件費っていうことを考えるとタイではどうですかね。ロボットを導入するのと人件費だと、かなりなかなか難しい選択を迫られるんではないかと思うんですがいかがでしょうか。
Yes, of course, the Thai stuff is much cheaper here, but we will implement semi-automatic feeding and watering solutions in the new farm. We will still use staff, of course, to control the process and keep a high standard of the production, but we will implement as much as we can in the automatic feeding and watering of the cricket because that is sensitive for the production, and we must also have automatic climate control so we keep 34 degrees in the farm and relative humidity around 50-60%. Those are very critical issues for good farming.
ありがとうございます。質問が、Q&A を見ていただくと、英語で質問が、あるんですが、こういうのをもし回答いただけるのであれば、この質問にも、ご回答いただきたいと思います。あと日本の方から、フェニルフェノールを含まないことに注意されているという発表に対して興味をお持ちの方がおられます。で、コオロギは餌とか飼育環境でフェニルフェノールを含まない、状況、要するに、化合物を代謝で作られてしまう。昆虫はこのフェニルフェノールというのを作ってしまうんでしょうか。そういう意味でしょうか。これは、ご質問回答いただけますでしょうか。今の質問、難しかったですね。フェニルフェノールはどこから、どこに含まれているのかっていうのを教えていただきたいんですが、これ農薬でよろしいですよね。
Yes, the problem with the phenolphonal comes from raw vegetables, fresh vegetables or fresh fruit. If you bring that in on top of the normal cricket feed, as many farmers do in Thailand. That's one source of contamination. Then we also have noticed by ourselves that the cricket shelters, the egg cartoons inside the boxes, they are used by recycled paper. And when they do recycled paper in Thailand, 90% of the egg cartoons are filled with phenolphonyl to avoid fungi and mold. And we actually found out when we sent our powder up to Brussels to be a part of the dossier into the EFSA for the approval in European Union. The result came back from Brussels and told us that we have 3,600 times more phenolphonyl than the lowest threshold in the Union. So we started to find out, we checked the feed, we checked everything, but the source was from the egg cartoons. So we found a supplier without any phenolphonyl.
ありがとうございます。いくつかの生産工程で見えてきた、こういう問題点を、即座に対応されているっていうことが重要だと。非常に勉強になりました。ありがとうございます。で、次の、質問なんですが、大量に、コオロギを生産するその拠点としてタイを選ばれたという理由はどこにあるでしょうかという質問です。よろしくお願いします。
The answer is very natural because we live in Thailand and we live in the environment in the province close to the sea and very high moisture balance, and we believe that it's got to be very advantage for the factory.
非常に分かりやすい回答ありがとうございます。はい、本当に素晴らしい環境だと思います。ありがとうございます。で、あとタイでは、ガイドライン、昆虫生産のガイドラインが世界で一番最初に、できたということを以前教えていただいたと思うんですが、そのガイドラインを作る際に何か苦労されたことはありますか
？Yes, there are lots of difficulties because people went out questioning why cricket, why are we doing this? Is it really the thing in the future? It's gonna stay, or it's just a buzzword that people thought it's gonna come, but it will not come. So we try to do the lobby talking with the LD, which is the livestock department, and the standard of food and agriculture to create a kind of protocol in order that we can follow these specific regulations to create the interim committee, and then the interim committee start to draft for the good practices within cricket industry. So it was 4 years ago, and it was very tough.
おそらくありがとうございます。世界でガイドラインを、作り始める、そのアクションをタイで行われたということは、私たちも非常に、勉強になってます。で、例えばそれを、海外、例えばヨーロッパの IPIFF に、働きかける際に、ガイドラインがあるということは、何かメリットがありましたでしょうか？それともあまりメリットはなかったでしょうか？教えてください。
I think the guideline is a very good first step, but that's the bottom line. And now to be able to export the products, for example, to the European Union, then it is the European Union and EFSA that set the next very high level. So even if we have a good guide here in Thailand, we must aim for the European level if we want to export to Europe. Same with Japan, we have to live up to your standards, your FDA regulations, but we believe that if we can live up to the standards of EFSA in Europe, then we can export globally because they're very hard up there in Europe.
ありがとうございます。おそらく、タイでも多くの 方々が昆虫を食べてます。文化的に、昆虫を食べてきている背景があります。そうすると、小さな昆虫を生産している会社と大きな昆虫を生産している会社が、お互い、ぶつかり合うことがあると思うんですが、大量に昆虫を作るときと少ない昆虫を作るときに何か法律の規制の違い、もしくは農業、畜産、食品加工で、気になる、重要なガイドラインというか法律とかっていうものが何か特別にあるとか、そういう情報があれば教えていただきたいんですが。
Yeah, very good question. Actually, we keep on asking this question in around Thailand, and the whole insect industry in Thailand right now is really booming. Everyone, when we started the company, it's only us, and then right now it's come a lots of companies that started, and then people went out discussing about the big scale production or small scale to promote the community work and production. We believe that there are plenty of markets. Every single company have got their own target market. We have the international market that we would like to hit, but the farmers, they can still breed and sell in the local domestic market. And then when they come to the standard, when the government help them to raise up the standard, then some of them might be able to export. But of course, you cannot take everyone and go for export because of the cost of production, the regulation, the lab tests that cost lots of money, maybe too overkill for the small scale production to survive.
ありがとうございます。あと、例えば近くの近隣の国々でも昆虫を作っていると思います。例えば、そうですね、ラオスとか、カンボジアとかでも昆虫を食べると思うんですが、そういった、隣の国との関係、もしくは、そういった昆虫の移動っていうものに対して国は何か制限をかけてますでしょうか。
Yes, in a big deal, because if your business model is some of the company, they buy cricket from sourcing source, and then they transport the frozen cricket to the factory. It means that they need to follow the food safety regulation where the temperature control must be stable and all of that, and that you guys know it already. For us, we didn't buy in any cricket from outside our own facility. That's why we don't have that issue. But in the future, when we would like to promote the community's production, then we gotta come in to train them how to breed in an international standard way. Then we can do that kind of network. But right now, yes, the answer is yes. There is the regulation of transport in Thailand.
ありがとうございます。あと、タイでは、オーガニックファーミングっていう考え方が、ものすごく浸透していると思うんですが、そのオーガニックファーミングを、の中に昆虫っていうのもしっかり入っていると思うんですが、その際に安全性とか規制っていうものをオーガニックファーミングという言葉の中に含んでいるのかどうか、もしご存知でしたら教えてください。
The organic farming is the thing that is people claim that they are organic, but most of them, it's very hard to find a pure organic farming in Thailand or anywhere in Asia, maybe more in India. But in our aim, we would love to have an organic feed to make the cricket become organic cricket. That is the milestone that we would like to have, but it's gonna take a couple of years before we come to that point. But exactly, it is a very niche product if we can do that.
ありがとうございます。あと、タイではいろいろな宗教との関係性があると思うんですけれども、宗教と昆虫を食べる文化っていうところで何か、気になること、例えば日本とよく似た仏教の国だと思いますので、そういったところ何か、昆虫食と、宗教っていう関係はありますでしょうか。
Thank you. I don't see any relationship with this kind of food connected to the religion. I just see it as more cultural issue. And when it comes to religion, maybe just a touch point where people would like to have halal certified for cricket. But in Thailand right now, the halal certification is not granted to the cricket industry yet, but in Malaysia, it is. In Singapore, it is. In Hong Kong, I believe they can give the halal to the cricket. In Bali, Indonesia, in a big deal, they can eat, it is halal. We are trying to certify in Singapore and Malaysia right now to get the halal certificate. And I think that is part of the religion issue, but not more like, you know, divide the religion, what we eat and not. I think it's far away from that issue.
ありがとうございます。じゃあ、将来的に、例えば、ハラル、コオロギを作ろうとした際には、やはりそのハラル認証をタイで取得してから輸出をするという考え方でよろしいでしょうか。
In that case, we need to, when we get the halal in other country, we gotta go and we have to do the talking with the Muslim community in Thailand that make the decision, and we gotta do the benchmark the process and give them that this model that it is halal in another country, why not Thailand?
We have partners in other countries, and they go for the halal certification, and we export our powder to those countries, and then they arrange for the certification for their own products.
ありがとうございます。あと、ヨーロッパとか日本ではかなり環境負荷についていろいろ議論がこれから始まると思うんですが、タイでは、昆虫を生産する際の環境負荷について何か気になる点、もしくは議論している点はありますでしょうか。
Yes, there is lots of difficulties in breeding cricket to reach the milestone and to make it profitable. And we have been doing the trying and error. And we found out that the most critical point for breeding cricket is Stefan is the expert for that.
The crickets are cold-blooded creatures, so they need a surrounding heat to grow. And our breeding cycle is 30 days. So we need 34 degrees to be able to harvest after 30 days. If the temperature go down to 27 degrees, the cricket needs 60 days to be fully adult, which means if we do the harvest after 30 days, we reach only 50% of the volume. So the temperature and humidity is very, very important. Also, the water and the feed, of course.
ありがとうございます。おそらく水とか餌で、先ほども昆虫のフレーバーが変わるとか味が変わるっていうことをおっしゃったと思うんですが、じゃあ機能性とか、先ほどのインセクト社さんでもやっぱ機能については結構議論があったんですが、何か、グローバルバグズアジアさんの商品でこういう機能に注目しているというものがあれば、今もし可能な限りで教えていただきたいんですが、何かこういう機能が昆虫、特にコオロギにはあるというものがあれば教えていただけますか。
The nutrition content of the cricket is, if you compare and benchmark all kind of insects, the cricket is still the queen of the industry because you never hit by, if you compare black soldier fly with cricket still win. If you compare the bamboo worm, cricket still win. And I find the reason good reason to continue with cricket. But then when it comes to the limitations, so we talk about the moisture balance and all that is can be manageable. But the only thing is the challenge is you need to breed them so that they don't get inbreed. that is more into the farming issue. That you, for example, when you do the egg production, the incubation phase, you need to do the mix of the cricket eggs, not to make them inbreed. It's like people, if you are mixed with the same family, you get Down syndrome. It's the same thing applied to cricket. So what we do is we mix the eggs together, or sometimes we bring in external eggs that we have checked the virus to bring in, to mix them, to make them very healthy and continue to produce good weight of the cricket. We don't do any kind of gene manipulation. We don't accept any process that can manipulate the pure content of the cricket, because it's pure protein, it's natural born protein. You don't need to do any kind of process or vitamin kick or whatsoever at all. We try to make it as pure as possible.
When it comes to the future production, we aim to build one new farm every year, and then we're going to mix eggs from different colonies, so we don't get the inbreed risk. That's it. And when it comes to the cricket, it's one of very few, maybe the only insect that actually have a lot of vitamin B12 inside. So for animal feed, I think black soldier fly and other insects are very, very good. But for human consumption, we believe the crickets is the top insect for human consumption.
ありがとうございます。グローバルバグズアジアさんの、昆虫の写真を見てると本当に美味しそうなので、ぜひまた、食べる機会があればいいなと思います。ありがとうございます。で、あともう一つ、ですか、昆虫を今度、商品として処理する際ですね、例えば、昆虫に苦痛を与えないで処理するという考え方もあると思います。例えばイギリスだとアニマルウェルフェアに対して非常に厳しい考え方、厳しいというか、そういう考え方が進化していると思うんですが、昆虫をそのトリートメント、処理をするときにはどのような注意をされてますでしょうか。教えてください。
Yes, we actually freeze them down, and that is one method that is approved by the EFSA and other authorities. So we put them in the freezer and slowly just fall asleep. As they're cold-blooded, they just stop breathing and then they fall asleep, and then they're dead in a good way, in a human way.
ありがとうございます。処理の仕方まで教えていただいて、日本の、生産を目指す人たちはすごく勉強になったと思います。どうもありがとうございます。あと最後なんですが、養殖を、目指す、場合にはですね、なかなかコオロギを使うというのは高級なイメージが今回ついたんですが、コオロギを養殖の餌に使うということは可能でしょうか。これ最後の質問でいかがでしょうか。お願いします。
Yes, a good question. And as you say, it's quite expensive to use crickets for aquaculture. But we are actually a part of a project in Sweden. It's a circular economy project where we breed salmon on land, and we grow vegetables, and we breed crickets. So part of the crickets will go into the salmon feed, and part of the vegetables will go into feed as well. So we try to go down in cost for the cricket production as well. We are not there yet. It has not started, but it's a very interesting project. If you can reduce the cost for cricket production, then it will be very, very good for aquaculture as well. We have also been in Scotland visiting salmon farms up there.
はい、ありがとうございました。もう多くの方々からたくさんの質問がありまして、すべてに答えていただきありがとうございました。ぜひこれからもグローバルバグズアジアさんは頑張ってください。はい。じゃあ今日、これでじゃあ発表終わりたいと思います。グローバルバグズアジアさん、最後に皆さんにコメントがあれば一言どうぞお願いします。
The question is just is how is Japan? Are you feeling positive about this industry?
From corporation specific.
すごくいい質問ですね。なんか皆さん、今日参加されている方々から、その皆さん、グローバルバグズアジアさんに対して答えを、回答をですね、求めて、また改めて、グローバルバグズアジアさんの方にお伝えしたいと思います。はい、楽しみにしていてください。はい。どうもありがとうございました。じゃあ、皆さん拍手で終わりにしましょう。どうもありがとうございました。はい。そうしましたら、はい、ありがとうございます。ありがとうございます。